kissing under city lights. Calls me in the sport until my day just goes on. Running out of speed of light, kissing under city lights. Calls me in the sport until my day just goes. Gotta get up again. I gotta get up to another day.
Welcome back to the game show League of Legends Tournament 2017. We are in for our first semi-final with teams Sovereign as well as team GAM3.PRO. I'm just gonna call it CTNB because that's really a mouthful to say.
Yes, definitely. This is the semi-final between Sovereign and CTNB. So we're your casters for today. My name is Raimi Raiku Kuzami and my partner right here is Young Sernok Yecheng.
Alright, so earlier today we saw Sovereign dismantle New Blood, was it? Yes, New Blood in a 25-minute game. So I think it's fair to say that coming into this match, Sovereign are the heavy favorites. They, as we mentioned previously, they are a TLC team, and CTNB, they've got their work cut off for them.
Yes, definitely. But we are looking at two teams with experienced players. Both teams have players coming from the TLC professional scene. They have been playing around for a very long time. So we are expecting this game to be much closer than the previous game, where the previous game was where a team of experienced players going up against a team of challenger players. Where this team we're going to see two teams of experienced players who has been in the professional scene for quite some time going at it against each other. So I believe this game will be a more exciting, more action-packed, more close than the previous game. That's why. But I do believe SVR is the favorites.
Yes, SVR are the favorites, and I just want to look back to the previous game on some of the champions that Sovereign picked in their win against New Blood. We saw the Nunu coming in for Ice Destiny. He went 10-1 and 8 on that Nunu, which was scoreline I never thought I would see on a Nunu. But either way, we're going to be seeing how these pick and ban retros will affect this game as we jump into picks and bans here. Sovereign will be on the red side for game 1, and CTNB will be on the blue side. Cannon's going to be the first ban out of CTNB.
Yeah, CTNB banning out the Cannon, which I'm not really sure why, because Cannon has fallen off a bit because of the nerfs to his W kit. So banning out the Cannon is not really a very wonderful pick to ban out. Whereas the Lee Sin banning out again from the previous game shows that maybe they do want remorse to get Lee Sin, because his Lee Sin is very good. So.
And Thresh is going to be next on the list. Mango, do not want Mango to play that champion anymore, seeing how he's a very good Thresh player. Caitlyn's going to be up next on the table. Candlelet not going to be allowed to play that. So seeing this ban so far, we can't really see much of how other teams are planning to do just yet. We really have to see what this third ban will be on the side of CTNB and how that will finally affect maybe some of their picks.
Yes, definitely. The Caitlyn ban is actually not really just a target to a Candlelet, because they understand that Caitlyn is a very strong pick. So if they're not able to get it first, they must ban it, because Caitlyn, if you're able to scale to the late game, will do too much damage. So then they will be unable to handle it. So banning Caitlyn will be the best option. And I see Rek'Sai being locked in first by team CTNB, whereas Gregor's now being hovered by Team Sovereign, and instead the Nunu is just going to be hovered and locked in. So we're going to see the Nunu again by Ice Destiny, and Rek'Sai will be at the jungle. So this jungle matchup has already been set from the first pick itself.
So Rek'Sai picked up, obviously it is a new Rek'Sai, he has been out for a bit, so I would expect Remorse maybe to have already some experience on the new Rek'Sai, but this Nunu pick, man, we saw how strong it was for Ice Destiny in the last game, and now he's able to get his hands on it again to affect those lanes to, well, maybe we'll see another outstanding performance on this Nunu from him. At the same time here, Ash going to be picked up from Maxilla, a very good utility AD carry. He has the Enchanted Crystal Arrow for the engage, and so we're going to see what CTNB will have to reply with, because Nunu and Ash were, especially Nunu, was so pivotal in Sovereign success last game.
Yes, we're going to see the Ash going to go against the Varus. Maxilu did play the Tristana in the previous game, a champion that doesn't really have much of the playmaking potential, but just more of to skill into the late games. Whereas the Ash has a lot of playmaking potential with the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. So we're gonna see how Maxi will be more proactive in terms of getting the Enchanted Crystal Arrow to land onto enemy laners on the global map itself. Maybe shoot to the mid or the top or even the jungle if he's able to get with the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, as well as feed information to his teammates through his Hawk. So let's see the various, and as well the Tamkench lane at the bottom side right now. Blitzcrank now locked in by Sovereign. Mango will take the Blitzcrank since his Treasures Band, Hook champion number 2. What do you expect to see from this Blitzcrank right here?
Oh man, I love Blitzcrank, man. I played a lot of Blitzcrank in solo queue. It's such a fun champion to play because it's you can make plays so well because with your hook, you hook in anyone. If it's a carry in the mid lane or the late game, the carry is most definitely dead. So we will need to see how Mango, because we saw Mango's hooks last game and they were spectacular. They were almost completely on point.
See that Sovereign actually banned out the Rengar here. A bit curious here, why? Because the jungle has already been picked by team CTNB, but instead Rengar is now being banned out by Sovereign here. Is it maybe just a misclick or probably something so? And now Talia now being banned out by team CTNB. Kusodi played the Talia in the previous game and he did play quite well. And Ari now banned out by Sovereign as the last ban. So now here you go, focusing here a bit on the mid lane a little bit because both the mid lane and the top lane is not picked.
Alright, so we're going to see what the final ban is here coming out on the side of CTNB. Expecting maybe another mid lane ban, as you mentioned.
Yeah, most likely Syndra or maybe the LeBlanc.
Yeah. I was about to mention about the Syndra because Syndra is such a strong pick here. But it looks like they are... Oh, it's actually going to be the Camille ban out. They do not want Shinsekai to get that champion. So the Syndra is open. We might see it being picked here by Sovereign, but I don't know whether they are willing to pick the Syndra Blanc.
Maybe we'll see the LeBlanc pick because I'm very sure So has been playing a lot of LeBlanc in solo queue, and I've seen him play too very well. And I think the LeBlanc pick here will be good, but instead it's a Jace locked in, a flex pick champion. It can go to the mid and top. So you practically will either have to pick one lane for success. I think that the Jace will go to the mid lane or the top lane, and you pick accordingly. But now Sovereign having the flex pick option in hand has a slight advantage in this pick and ban phase, because right now team CTNB do not know whether the Jace goes to the mid or top, and now Orianna now locked in, so I believe the Jace might go to the mid lane instead.
Yes, with Orianna in the mid lane, Jace might just go to the mid lane to counter the Orianna, to force her into the different itemization towards the Secret's Arm God first. Meanwhile, Fiora is going to be the lock-in for Kra over in the top lane. Pretty proficient Fiora player. We're going to see whether he's able to bring about the mid to late game split push on the Fiora, whether he's able to get a hit on this Fiora as well. Last pick for Sovereign, what do you think is going to be?
I guess maybe we're going to see a Rumble over here, because Rumble is open. Jace most likely definitely will go to the mid lane. So Rumble, but no, it's going to see a Victor locked in here for the mid lane for Team Sovereign. So Jace definitely going to the top lane. Fiora versus Jace matchup at the top side, whereas a Orianna and a Victor lane matchup at the mid lane. So both teams really looking for the late mid game, because Victor in the late game will be very strong. The damage output is insane. Whereas they have a mid game option of using the Jace, because Jace bounce back is very well into the mid game. So having the Jace as well as the Victor ensures some safety in the mid game as well as the late game itself. Whereas when you look at team CTNB, their mid game safe pick will be the Orianna as well. Whereas the Fiora is the safety option into the late game. So there's some safety here for team CTNB as well. So both teams have the safety to fall back into the late game, because they can play around the Fiora split push as well as the Victor's team fighting potential. So we're gonna look at how these two teams play out the early mid game, because that will determine which team has the advantage to push or siege any enemy lane itself.
And both teams have pretty similar compositions now that you mention it. We have a tank and a jungler in the jungle rather, with the Rek'Sai versus the Nunu.
But usually we see the Rek'Sai now going more towards the AD because of the...
actually that's true.
Rek'Sai can still act as the kind of primary tank, so yeah, maybe that's same with Team Com, I guess. But Nunu definitely has more peel than the Rek'Sai.
Yeah, that's for sure. Then a split push threat in the top lane. Both Fiora and Jace are very strong split pushers. A heavy team fight, a very strong team fighting champion in the mid lane, Orianna and Victor. Both of them have that gigantic AoE ultimate and abilities. They are able to change fights so well. And when it comes to the bottom lane, it's also pretty similar. Tahm Kench is able to deny a lot of plays, however, that Sovereign might want to make against CTNB.
But when you look at the team count of Team CTNB, the Fiora has an option to scale very late to the game because Fiora split push compared to the Jace is scarier as the game go on.
Yeah.
And Jace cannot handle the Fiora in the late game because Fiora's damage output is crazy when she gets the 3 item spike. So there's a time frame for when the Jace can split push until the mid game, whereas CTNB can drag this all the way to the late game because they know that their split push potential is way stronger than Team Sovereign. So Sovereign really need to work around their advantages, which is around the mid game, because Victor has a slight spike in damage as well in the mid game after the Hex Core upgrade. So we want to see how Sovereign actually roams around and get the advantages they need to start the game snowballing.
Alright, so in your opinion, where do you think the most action is going to be occurring in the early game? Because we see, as I mentioned, pretty standard match across the board. Maybe with apart from the Tahm Kench versus the Blitzcrank. Where do you want to see these junglers try to affect the most in the early game to have the most impact on the game?
I believe the lane would have to be the mid lane, because we look at this team comp, you see the Varus, you see the Tahm Kench. Where do they want to move? They want to use the ultimate to roam around the map. The best way is to gank the mid lane itself. Ashe with the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, where she wants to go, she wants to go to the mid lane because the top lane most likely the Enchanted Crystal Arrow will get riposted. So Orianna here, she's taking the heal, not the cleanse. So very easily they can get stunned by the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, as well as the Blitzcrank hook to also care about. So we are looking more action into the other lanes, not the bottom lane, because I believe the bottom lane will be rather safe. The Tahm Kench will just eat the Varus if he gets hooked or something. So the focus here will be at the mid or the top, but more primarily the mid, because if Orianna snowballs ahead of the Victor, the mid game of Teams CTNB will be way stronger than Team Sovereign, and if it goes even late game, the mid game spike of Team CTNB will outscale Team Sovereign. So Team CTNB wants definitely to get the Orianna ahead of the Victor, whereas for Team Sovereign, we want to look at the mid game power coming up from the Jace as well. So if the Victor falls behind, their scaling to the late game will get affected. So definitely Team Sovereign wants to actually enhance the mid lane a bit to make kind of lift up pressure out of the Victor so that the Victor is able to scale.
Alright, so we will be jumping into game pretty soon. So just a quick roster rundown here on the blue side. For game 1, it is going to be Chem top, not bot. That's Cry in the top lane, Remorse in the jungle, Jerome in the mid lane, Candela in AD carry, and Elijah on his Kench on support.
And on the red side we have Team Sovereign. At the top lane we have Shinsei Kai, jungle we have iDestiny, Kusuo in the mid lane, Maxilu and Mango in the bottom lane. And right now we're kind of having a pause here because I'm not sure why, probably some technical difficulties. So we look at the starting items of these two items. We see Candlelet going for the Doran Blade instead of the Doran Shield, and Ashe going for the Doran Shield and not the Doran Blade. Whereas at the top lane you see the Fiora going for the shield and Jace going for the Doran Blade. So there's some, we know the advantage goes to Jace at the top lane in terms of poking and pressure. But once you reach the level 6, who is able to win the 1v1 duel? We want to see what's happening in the top lane. I believe top lane has a very strong pressure push, because if the Jace gets to snowball against the Fiora, maybe 1-2 kills ahead, the Jace will definitely outskill the Fiora in the mid game. Fiora will be unable to get any sort of impact onto the game until the late game itself, and that's where Sovereign wants to take the advantage of.
And really vice versa, right? If you mentioned if Jace is able to get ahead of the Fiora, but if let's say Remorse decides not to go to the mid lane instead of the camp top lane, instead to get this Fiora ahead, Fiora, if he gets ahead, he can snowball by himself. He doesn't even need much of the jungler anymore if he's able to get the advantage early on. And if that's the case, Shinsekai might have a lot of trouble dealing with this Fiora. As we see, the game will be resumed in just a bit, so we are onto the Rift now. CTMB versus Sovereign, we're going to be seeing the lane distribution. It looks like CTMB are mostly all at the bottom lane here, so they might, while Sovereign rather is going pretty standard, Jace top, and it looks like iDestiny will be starting in the top side of the jungle once again.
So now looking at the screen right now, you're seeing a 5-man invade here by Team CTNB, but I don't think they'll be able to, because Maxilu just placed a ward at the bottom side. So gonna get spotted out by team Sovereign. So standard warding pattern by Sovereign, just standing man warding the area, preventing any sort of invades coming in. Where you see Mango and Maxilu kind of moving over to the second bush, start a cheeky level 1 damage onto the enemy AD carry as well.
Imagine if Candlelet walks. Imagine if they stay in bush and Candlelet walk past, and then you just have to grab it. Oh!
Whoa! What? That didn't hit? I thought it hit, man. What? Well.
Wonky hitboxes, man. This should be playing with my feelings.
I was pretty sure that was a sure hit. I think it was probably some glitch or some bug right there, but unlucky there. Probably if the hook land, then probably Candlelet will have to flash, and that'll be a win lane there for the bottom side. But
yeah, if I thought Candlelet was gonna be hooked there, and if he forces a flash at level 1 before 2 minutes, that's almost that just makes the lane so hard to play if you are Candlelet. But the hook didn't land. Candlelet must be feeling really thankful right now.
Did I just saw Tamkench 8 Rek'Sai up? I'm pretty sure I did. So wow, that was a very funny start right there. You can see the Tamkench eating up the Rek'Sai. So both jungles starting at the bottom side, so I think they'll be heading to the top side pretty soon. We move over to the top side, maybe get some damage impact onto the top lane, because I feel I don't see the top side moving. And
alright, so alright, we're back. We just had some really bad technical activity. Then you come back to see First Blood SC 1-for-1 in the top lane here. Wow, that was some weird technical bug that we had.
I got no kind of analysis for that, because we didn't really watch the game right now. But we're gonna see here Nunu trading with the Rek'Sai 1-on-1. Who will win this battle? But look at the Nunu.
It looks like Runo. Oh, I thought Rumors was gonna get a kill onto Ice Destiny right there. But in the end, it was a 1-for-1 trade not in favor of anyone, just a 1-for-1 trade.
Well, we see a first blood here for the Fiora, so both top laners actually died in the process, but Fiora got the kill, whereas Nunu gets the kill. So this Fiora is getting slightly better than the Jace. So if it goes to the late game, but instead we're gonna get another pause. I'm not sure why, but let's talk about it. The Nunu will be able to snowball, so he'll be able to act better as a front tank. So now SVR really have to look more to the team fight, because Nunu can act as a very good front tank compared to allowing the Jace to go against the Fiora in a split push matchup, because Fiora will be able to scale slightly better than Jace right now, because he got the same item advantage, and with the Vampiric Scepter he's more likely be able to survive the laning phase and get items better. So I want to see how SVR actually use this information to actually move to force some early fights once Ashe reach level 6, as well as the Blitzcrank being able to roam around. We want to see how this Ashe and the Blitzcrank roam around, as well as maybe swap over to the top lane and maybe help to get the Fiora down, because the last thing Sovereign wants is the Fiora getting fed.
Alright, so we see Ice Destiny in the mid lane on a gank onto Jerome here. Jerome forced to burn a heal already, so Ice Destiny does get something off of the gank. Jerome having to being forced that heal out. Of course, Shaw is not level 6, Jerome is not, so he does have that advantage in power as of now.
Yes, and in the top lane here, you see a small skirmishing level 6 Jade going against the Fiora, and in the enemy jungle, we see Ice Destiny invading again. He done that a lot in the previous game, and he's doing it yet again this game.
Ice Destiny, I mean, if you're on a Nunu and you're not invading, I think you're doing something wrong, really.
Yeah, definitely.
Nunu, with the Consume Smite, who can deal with that, really? I mean, that hook almost missed, but I mean, if you're Nunu, you're Consume Smite, it is so easy to steal away those camps. And Remorse, he's on a Rek'Sai. Yes, he has Smite, and Rek'Sai has a little bit of burst damage with some of his skills, but it's almost impossible to outsmite the Nunu. And Ice Destiny, he showed it last game, and probably going to be showing it a lot this game as well.
Yeah, so, and we see now that the Nunu will be handing over, and no! This Crank actually got it, but it was saved by the Time Catch. That was really very, because you can see this Time Catch pick working again. Safety for the AD carry, and you see Ice Destiny now heading over to the bottom lane.
Alright, so Ice Destiny coming. Oh, the flash actually does not matter as the Blitzcrank knockup still lands by Candlelit. And Allied actually gets hooked back into the team, but there is not enough follow-up by Sovereign here. So Summoner's Burn over on the side of Candlelit, but no kills are gonna happen.
Yes, no kills over towards him, but flash burn for the burst in trade for the Blitzcrank flash. So there will be more time for jungle to actually come bottom, because Varus flash is down, whereas Tam Kench didn't really flash even though he got hooked. And now you can look at the Dragon Pit, Ice Destiny kind of trying to solo the dragon, whereas Rek'Sai is heading to the top side, getting the blue and passing it over to the Orianna.
Alright, so looking across the board right now, Sovereign, all the lanes are a little bit up in CS, and you see, you're gonna solo an Ocean Drake at level 6 with a Nunu. And now with the Ocean Drake, Sovereign will have so much more laning power, because if they get poked out maybe from a Varus Q, or even in the mid lane with the Orianna attack into Dissonance combo, they can just sit back and the health will just regen so much faster compared to that of a CTMB.
Yes, and when you look at the top lane, it actually benefits the Jace, because Jace now has enough mana to actually kind of punish the Fiora, and even though he'll be trading with Fiora very often, this has an easier time to actually recover his health because of the Ocean Drake. That's why this Drake is very important for the laning phase for Team Sovereign.
Alright, so the lanes are playing out still alright, as you see Remorse trying to approach the bottom lane. Does get spotted out by the bottom lane of Sovereign, so they will back up for just a bit. Remorse going to be going back into his own jungle. In the fast more in the top lane, is Shinsekai actually getting the upper hand on this grand challenge will be issued by Kra, and Shinsekai is running away here. The Vitals will not all be proc, and both of them will get out alive.
Yes, it was a very aggressive there by Kra, but he managed to win the trade and forced Shinsekai away a little bit, but Shinsekai still leads the lane in terms of CS number. But this is what we expect to see. The Fiora will out-damage the Jace in the late game, but this is just the early during the laning phase. But Fiora is already doing so much more.
So we saw what the powers of Fiora as Ice Destiny finds Remorse in the jungle. It's going to be pretty much a wet noodle fight at this point in the game. None of them are going to really get any much cooldowns from either one of them. But Mango is always positioned there to look for their hook, to look for that pick that might potentially swing this lane in their favor. But Elijah on the Thumb Kench is really just so annoying. As you see that little taunt right there that Elijah did, trying to taunt Mango into firing the hook.
Yes, but we don't really see much Q pressure in the bottom lane because of this Thumb Kench pick right here. This Thumb Kench is providing so much safety for Varus because even though Varus gets hooked, the Thumb Kench will just eat up. So even though the flash for Varus is down, you don't really have much play potential in the bottom lane because of this Thumb Kench safety. So I believe Sovereign really shouldn't focus onto the bottom side, but they should look to make some cash into the top lane, and we see it.
Oh, Elijah hooks in, he got a critical going to lane, he has to flash away. Chain of Corruption will land to Maxi Liu, however, so Elijah gets away with by using the flash.
Yes, there was a very nice hook there by Mango. Wasn't expecting it to hook the Thumb Kench, but he got the hook. And the damage output from Ashe was so much that he had to use both his flash and the exhaust to escape.
Remorse actually going to be coming with the Abyssal Voyage. Top lane, we're going to be seeing a small duel between Shinsekai and Cry. Looks like there's no kills happening in the bottom lane here. Remorse will be going back home. Elijah actually went in with the Abyssal Voyage. It was a pretty daring move, seeing that he was that low on health, but it was a 3v2, and that's going to be forcing Maxi Liu and Mango to both go back to base.
Yes, so both of them are now back at base, and this wave will just crash onto the bottom turret. So a win there for Team CTNB in terms of getting the pressure out. But look at the mid lane right now. That's where I want the focus to be. Ashe ultimate is up. Well, it's still on cooldown, but he has the ultimate up. So once Ashe ultimate up, I want to see Mango and as well as Ashe trying to land an ultimate onto the mid lane because the Orianna doesn't have cleanse.
But here comes Mango. Orianna has to flash here, but the hook is going going down. Shockwave does catch onto all three members of Sovereign, but that's a clean kill going over to Ice Destiny once again.
Mango with that hook, just amazing because he actually waited for the Orianna to flash out and once in a perfect hook onto the Orianna. Well played there by Team Sovereign.
And Sovereign now have the pressure onto this mid lane turret. Elijah and Remorse have both of them have to appear in the mid lane to try to defend against this turret here. So really good power play coming in by Sovereign. Now Remorse going to be stunned up and have a good chunk of his health taken down, while Kuso throws up that flare as a side BM. Wow, Kra is going to be taking so much punishment as Shinsekai taking turret, ergo the Vitals are not going to be quite there as Chia is going to be run away with style health. But now Candelate's in a 1v3. There's no way he's going to get out of this one as Maxi Liu gets the kill.
And in the top side, Fiora managed to survive the Jace onslaught onto the top lane, but this will actually give more pressure for the Jace to get more tip damage onto the turret. And at the bottom side, there is not really much because now you can see 4 men at bottom lane, 3 men at bottom lane, trying to get some chip dash onto the turret as well. But the Rek'Sai will be able to defend, and
oh dear, Remorse gets hooked in. He's going to stay alive here. Ice Blast will not be getting the kill, but just so much, but those hooks are just so on point as Kuso gets the kill onto Jerome on the back end, and that's going to be another kill going over to Sovereign. 4-1, a 2,000 gold lead at 13 minutes.
Kuso just solo killed the Orianna who just backed off and come back to lane again. So this shows how much this matchup is going towards the Victor, even though Victor still needs time to scale. And the more this game goes on, Victor will do more damage towards the enemy. So this late game trump card that Sovereign has is actually getting into effect way earlier. So Victor scaling way earlier than expected will provide a tough option for Team CTNB to come to do a proper team fight in the mid game because Victor's damage will out damage the Orianna no matter in what aspect, because the damage output of Victor is way too much.
And with that, first turret has gone down in favor of Sovereign, and it is in the mid lane here, propelling their lead up to almost 3,000. Meanwhile, Shinsekai just pushing around Kra so much as Kuso is here to reinforce, and Kra goes down to Shinsekai. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Remorse is in the fight with Mango, but here come both Candidate and Elijah, but Mango flashes away. Remorse flashes, going to be getting a knockoff here. Mango will be going down here. He almost takes Remorse down together with him, so a good kill coming in for CTNB. What can they get off of this?
They're gonna get the Infernal Dragon because Nunu is nowhere near inside. So this is actually a win here for Team CTNB. But at the top lane, we're gonna see Jace actually get down the top chart. So a trade for Infernal Dragon for a tier 1 chart, I think that would definitely be what Sovereign wants, because this will actually get the Victor ahead even more. And if the Victor managed to to get maybe 2-3 items way earlier than expected. The mid game will just be a tough area for TTNB to pass through because they can't really force a team fight, and Victor's sieging is very strong with his Hex Core laser damage. So really, Sovereign is playing the early game very well compared to CTNB so far.
And there we see the top lane turret of CTNB going down here. Shinsekai going to be getting that solo gold over there from the turret. It now propels Sovereign's lead to about 4,000 here, 15.5 minutes in. CTNB, what do you think they have to do now for them to crawl back into this game? Because it feels the Sovereign is really taking control.
As already kind of mentioned in the Champions League, that was a very nice eating time there by the Tom Catch, devouring him the moment he got hooked. So he didn't flew all the way there. He just stayed at the spot. But yeah, as you were saying about win conditions right here, TTNB has the late game wildcard, which is the Fiora, because no one in Team Sovereign is able to meet and do damage. And you can see here Victor just dishing out so much damage, and Oriana just getting burst near his base.
Jerome just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Unlucky for him. Kuso already, and now Remorse now stuck in the middle of 3 people. Credit flashes into the arrow and gets taken down. Shinsekai gets the kill credit. You have to flash sideways, my friend.
I mean, there's no wrong place, wrong time for Jerome because he's just outside the base. He just walked out of the base, gets burst just outside the base. Where else can he go? Just sit in the base?
Well, that's unlucky Kuso on maybe a warning mission that I found out about Oriana. I'm just gonna casually take him out just like that. But Candlelit in their previous fight flashed in the same direction as the arrow. Really unlucky there.
Yeah, it's very unlucky there by Candlelit to actually waste his flash right there and getting hooked by the Blitzcrank. But you see Kuso here just popping off. Not even the mid game where he gets item spikes yet, but he's just a Hex Core 3 upgrade with a Shin here. He's popping off way too early, and you see a mid lane here.
They're trying to get a kill on the Remorse. Remorse does not have the flash, so he's not able to go for the flash knockup. Abyssal Voyage has also been used to try to get Kuso. Sovereign, they are all busting out the mid lane right now. Kuso, he might have overstayed here. All 3 stacks of the Devourer has been played on it, and he has to flash away. Elijah now trying to go for the Devourer, but he is way too far forward. The Blitzcrank hook will miss.
That was so close there by Mango. If he had hooked there, Elijah would have fallen down, and the mid tier might have fallen down. But now look here, Remorse is getting caught here.
And he's just gonna tunnel away like it's nothing. You know, Shinsekai is still in the top lane, bullying out this Fiora now. You mentioned before the game that if Shinsekai gets a hit in the mid game, he's going to be so much more stronger than this Fiora.
Yes.
And right now he's showing it as Sovereign rotates up to the top lane here. She tries to get a pick, but Remorse is in a 1v3. He will be going down. Kuso's not going to killing spree. 8-2 in favor of Sovereign as they blaze down this bottom lane, top lane turret.
Yes, they're going to get a top turret, and this Elijah might actually fall down as well.
Oh, Elijah, you are so far forward in the middle of 4 people as he goes down. The kill credit goes to Kuso yet again on a rampage now. Sovereign just dismantling CTNB.
Sovereign is playing this so systematically, roaming from mid to top, getting the top turret, getting the kill, now backing off. Now look at that, going over to the Rift Herald to take the Herald as well. They are playing it so so objective focused. The kills come in freely, whereas the objective is on site. You're working for the top chart. Oh, let's go to the top side as a group, get the top chart down. Now let's head over to Hell as a group. They're playing everything as a team. When you saw them roaming to the bottom lane just now, 5 men dive onto the bottom lane. I saw how amazing the setup was because the wards were there, prepared everything for the teleport. So Sovereign playing this very well. CTNB just really needs a way to stall the game because Fiora is way too behind the Jace, and if Fiora is unable to go to the 3 item spike, there's really no split push option for the Fiora because the Jace will just snowball the game.
And CTNB has been unable to get any turrets this game. All 3 of Sovereign outer turrets are almost completely at full health here, while they've been able to pick up 4 of their own against CTNB now. And CTNB, their opportunities are just diminishing right now. 9-2 in kills, already almost an 8,000 gold lead, to a deficit rather, against Sovereign, and they are just getting choked out of the map. Sovereign, they are in complete control.
Yes, the mid game is the area where CTNB will suffer the most, and because of the snowball from both the Victor and the Jace, it will make it even harder for Team CTNB to come back from this game. But we always have the option of the Fiora, the late game Fiora. But look here, the bomb lane.
Oh, Cryo in the wrong place here. 3 members of Sovereign are coming down, and he does not have the repulse. Does Mango go for the flash hook? He does not. So Cryo going to be taken very, very low, and it looks like the bottom lane inner turret is the next point of contention for Sovereign.
Yes, Exilio now heading over to the bottom lane as well, whereas Shinseika just backed off and now heading over to the mid, I believe, or the top side. So this bottom lane will be a contest because the dragon is up, which I believe would be the Inferno, if I'm not wrong. We shall see when the dragon is up, and bottom lane turret gonna fall down soon because the Herald is summoned.
So Rift Herald going to be summoned here, and it's going to be gating the bottom lane inner turret rather will be going down in favor to Sovereign here. Can the CTNB, they have to retreat. Rift Herald will be taken down by CTNB, but they are just too far behind at this point. They're 9,000 gold. They are suffering a 9,000 gold deficit. I mean, at 21 minutes, that's insane.
I mean, it's slightly better than the previous game where they were like 13,000-14,000 behind in 21 minutes.
I mean, you've got a point there. The Remorse Transfer goes in, but he can immediately stand up, and Kusto is now unstoppable, gets the kill on Elijah. Meanwhile, on the backside, Jerome's getting absolutely destroyed by the Jace. As to the great Shift Crowd going to be stalling Sovereign in their steps. But look at all the damage coming on Elijah in the front line, tries to take as much as he can, but he will go down, and it's only Jerome left, and he's going to go down as well. A double kill comes in for Kusto, an absolute clean ace coming in for Sovereign.
That Oriana Shockwave, even though it got 4 man, the damage output wasn't enough. Team TTNB is too far behind to actually force that fight, but they were caught, so they had to force the fight. But even though the Oriana match get all 4 members, or nearly all 5 of it, there was no follow up to the damage, and Team SVR just managed to deal more damage because they are just way too ahead.
They are way too far. They started that fight off almost 9,000 gold ahead. So even though Jerome landed that critical shockwave onto the members of Sovereign, there was just not enough follow-up. They just were not able to do anything. Even I didn't even realize that the formation shockwave hit because the amount of damage it does was just not enough.
Yeah, it was a little too insignificant. So we should say that Sovereign right now is in the driver's seat to just end this game in a clean slate. Whereas if somehow Team CTNB is managed to able to delay the game, make it in a way that they are able to make the Fiora fat, get him to the 3-item spike, then we can see probably there's a way for Team Sovereign to come back, Team CTNB to come back, I mean.
But right now we don't really have any reason to believe that because Sovereign has been playing such a clean game right now. Now Mango is hanging in the wings, trying to find a hook right beside Kuso because he knows Kuso is strong enough to one-shot almost anyone on the side of CTNB
and
now.
Yeah, Mango missing his hook again. Fiora just waiting down here, and
Maxilio, he's going in the 1v1 against Kra, but here comes the camaraderie from Sovereign as Kra is going to be taken down. Maxilio gets the kill credit, and you really should not have been going into a 1v4 situation there, Kra.
So this is definitely the time to start Baron because with 1 member down, Remorse flashing out means that Baron will never be stolen again by Team CTNB. This is going to be a free Baron here for Team Sovereign, and there will definitely be a chance to end the game with the mid lane already cracked open.
So Baron's going to be taken over by Sovereign, so which is probably the last straw that for CTNB. With the Baron buff, the pushing power of Sovereign will be so much stronger than whatever CTNB can throw at them to defend their base. Looks like bottom lane is going to be the target.
And then when you look at Victor and Oriana right now, the items, look at Victor, 3 completed item, whereas Oriana still has only 1.5. So this Victor has just popped off way too early. Team CTNB don't really have an answer for it because the damage output from this Victor is too crazy.
Kuso on the back end almost one-shots the Rek'Sai with just a regular skill combo, Ice Destiny, using the Absolute Zero to just zone away as Jerome gets caught in by the hook again. And look at all the damage coming out from Kuso. Elijah's going to be the target here. Jerome at the brink of death, has to go back. Good stuff by Shinseikai, gets the kill on gets the kill onto Jerome.
Oh!
And that's going to secure it. Kusho is a legendary 905 on those Victor. And they're on to the Nexus turret. Sovereign, that's going to be the second Nexus turret on it. And Sovereign, clean game 1 against CTMB. And they're going to be going up 1-0.
That is a very clean game there. Mango with the hooks. Amazingly get all the carries. First the Oriana, second the Oriana again, the third the Varus. Oh, his hooks were amazing. So really that was a very clean game to watch there by team Sovereign right there. Just that maybe the Victor really just popping off way too early because the kills just keep coming to him. The solo kill onto the Oriana at the river for his second kill, as well as just Oriana walking out the base and getting killed again before the bottom lane dive. Really, the Victor really just pops off.
And looks like banning one hook champion isn't enough.
So I don't really blame the pick and ban because the pick and ban really did was well. Banning out the trash was something you should expect because Mango played a very good trash in the first game. But the Blitzcrank hook was very crucial because he got nearly all the carries at the correct time.
Yes.
Remember when Mango actually roamed to the mid lane and he got the Oriana after flashing? That was perfect because it lifted the pressure so much from the mid lane, and CTMB didn't have an answer because the Victor managed to snowball after that. And at the bottom lane fight, he managed to get the Varus after being stunned by the arrows. So all these hooks coming in from the Blitzcrank is just critical. And now we want to see how Team CTNB comes back from it, because if they are unable to solve this issue of protecting the carries or getting the pressure on the mid lane as well as the bottom lane as well, then we're gonna see another stomping here by Team Sovereign.
Alright, so Sovereign's going to be taking on CTNB for game 1, but don't go anywhere as you're going to be having game 2 of the semi-final quite soon. You're watching the game show, the Collections Tournament.
Yes, stay tuned for the second game of the semi-finals.